Hi, I am Koosje Koenen, co-founder of Sketchbook Skool. And on today's Q&R, I'm talking to Fabio Consoli, who lives in Sicily. And I was lucky enough to visit him there a few weeks ago and shoot the videos for his class because he is a fresh new member of our faculty and will be teaching in our new course called Stretching, which will start in a few weeks. Fabio is a graphic designer and an illustrator, and he has a great habit of using his sketchbooks to translate the things around him into drawings full of imagination and creativity. So we'll talk about that today by asking the question, how can I stretch my creativity? So Fabio, how do you stretch your creativity using your sketchbooks and your drawings?
Yeah, what I usually do is try to train what compose creativity for me. So for me, creativity is made of imagination, fantasy, and what I call a sort of image archive of the world. So, for example, what I do for train my imagination is reading books. When you read books, you just translate the words in images, and it's a great work because you just use your imagination. You create your own world from words. For fantasy, it's a really useful playing with children, like foolish stuff, like let yourself go and just try to think outside the boxes and try to be really funny. What I do on my sketchbook, it's a sort of collection of things around me. So I try to draw everything around me. So that way I just have the images in my archive. And when I want to create something new, for example, to create like something like a table made of water, for example. Yeah? It's a brand new thing, but you have to know the water and you have to know the table. Then you put together two different things and you create a new one.
Okay, so if you refer to an image archive, is that an archive that you actually keep? Like, do you get back to the pages of your sketchbooks to see, like, oh, how did I draw water again? Or is it just an image archive that's in your mind that you can use over and over again, combining things that you see and that you know?
Yeah, it's on my internal hard disk. just I just to put everything down, and then it's when you need, they just go up and just do, and you combine new images from part that you already know. The more you know, and more creativity possibility you have, because more things you draw, you can combine new stuff from that.
Yeah, and you also say, okay, I try to think outside the box. Not everybody does that naturally.
What I do is playing with children and drawing with children. I think this is really useful because, for me, fantasy, it's something, it's like talking or drawing or thinking about something, and you don't have to think if it is real or is it possible to realize. Try to free yourself and think whatever comes in your mind. It's like children do. Just invent new stories. Everything in our mind, there is a little part say, okay, you are thinking something that's not possible to realize, or you are thinking something that's too hard to do. Try to shut down this voice and use my childish part. Try to explore new fields, new combination. That's what I do on my sketchbook. That's really different for my illustration assignments, where I have to have a briefing, I have to just follow the rules. If you have a good imagination, you can just copy from your mind as you are copying from a reel. That's good. Like trying to imagine like tiny details. The colors. So when I imagine something, I try to be really careful, and I try to put as much details as I can. I'm imagining like a beach. So I am imagining like a wood. So it's like faded, but I try to imagine it that wood with the tiny leaves. That's what I try to do.
Right, so you actually go into the woods in your mind and then have a good look at the leaves that you see there because they're stored inside. And if you go to the beach, you can even hear the waves and you can smell the salt. So yeah, I think that's a fantastic way to start up your creativity before you even pick up a pen.
Yeah, you can do whatever. What I like to do is just sitting and just thinking about a place that I loved, and try to remember as much detail as I can. This is helpful even for my humor, you know, because when I think something that I really like it, I just feel better now. So I train my imagination, and in the same time, I feel better.
It's almost like meditating.
It's meditating. It's a sort of visualizing.
It's really helpful. I mean, anyone can do it, and you can do it everywhere, as long as you also take your sketchbook with you, right?
Yeah, yeah. You don't need even in a tram or in a metro. You just for a few seconds, you know, for a few minutes, you just can stay there and train your imagination. And I think that to have a good imagination at the beginning, you have to look in the right way. So you have to just look at details. You have to look at all the tiny things that are hidden in the object, in the people. And drawing, for me, it's the best way I have to connect with reality, and so then I can have a better imagination. I try to stay in the moment as much as I can, and then when I need my imagination, I just use what I already saw and I already drew in the past.
Your drawings are very inspiring, and I'm really looking forward to your class as well in stretching. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in class.
Thank you. Bye bye.